Well, news that we are breaking to you here on Mir Now. At the moment, we are getting news from Karnataka High Court, where the High Court has asked what is the status of the mechanism of oxygen distribution. Questioning the oxygen emergency situation, the Karnataka High Court says, where are the buffer zones created? A division bench of Chief Justice Abhay and Justice Aravind Kumar is hearing the matters on the distribution of oxygen, asking questions around where are the buffer zones created, why there are no buffer zones despite the Supreme Court directing the centre and the state. Also asking if there was a system, why would the hospitals put up shortage board? Let me go across to Neha Hebbs joining us with more on this. Neha, take us through the important details of what the Karnataka High Court has pointed out. Which are the major areas of concern that the state is dealing with?
Ever since the Chamarajanagar incident over here in Karnataka, where 24 people lost their lives in a hospital where disruption of oxygen was reported, the High Court has been coming down hard on the state government on the issue of oxygen. While yesterday the issue of oxygen increasing allocation was taken up and the allocation was increased, today we're seeing how, in fact, the High Court is slamming the government for not putting in place a proper protocol. So what exactly this means is that as of today, the state government of Karnataka does not have a mechanism in place for distribution of oxygen, and none of the government or the taluk level hospitals, in fact, have any actual access to this oxygen. There's no proper protocol or guidelines that have been put in place. And more importantly, also what the High Court has questioned is why the buffer zones are not created. Now, these are, in fact, the buffer zones that the Supreme Court had directed the state government to actually create. Even this has not been done yet. There's no supply of oxygen to many districts today. There is a shortage, and these districts are having to run around frantically making calls just to, ensure a little oxygen supply to the district. So it is, as of now, pretty much a messy situation over here in the state, which is why the High Court has now immediately directed the state government to come out with guidelines and ensure that what happened at Chamarajanagar, where the hospital was frantically making calls to procure oxygen, should not repeat again.
Absolutely. 24 lives were lost, Neha, in that incident, and there must be some accountability fixed for this. Why was there such a shortage? And again, like you said, this should never happen again in any other place. Thanks for joining us. Kerala to go for a complete lockdown from the 8th to 16th of May. Lockdown begins from 6 a.m. from the 8th of May. The decision comes after the unprecedented surge in COVID positive cases.